All right. Suzanne Anderson, it's such a blessing to be able to meet you and to have this little interview with you to celebrate that you've participated in this beautiful book, Golden Wisdom of Love, Legends, and Legacies. What inspired you to write your chapter for this book?
Well, it's interesting when I saw the title of this book, it reminded me of something in my own childhood, and because I'm writing my memoirs right now, and when you my story about growing up in the times of the Depression and the contrast of the dark and light, and the difference between rich man and poor man was pretty obvious in those days, and when I was a child. So it struck me that what people are going through in their lives is very similar and archetypal and I wanted to leave that story as a legacy to my family.
That is awesome. And you say you're also writing kind of a memoirs of that's going to be published yourself coming
Yes,
up soon at about the same time.
that's right.
How
That's right.
awesome is that? That is incredible. So you're 94 years young. You're here on Zoom. This is pretty fascinating and amazing. What an example for others, that you can do this. What do you hope somebody gains from reading your chapter?
Well, the chapter is about beginnings and endings, and not to be discouraged about the opposites that we see, the dark side and the light side, because it's the way life hits us is with change, and portals are the entrance to a brighter future. So my childhood was an example of that, and stressed by the decisions to make one way or another, because either way is possible, because the story of Janus is in the archetype of the Roman god, whose the name January, the month of the new year, comes from the Roman god Janus.
How beautiful. Very fascinating. And so in your work in the world before you became in your 90s, what did you do through all the years of serving in the
Well,
world?
I've been a teacher most of my life, all of my life, and by being a teacher, you have to study and learn, get ahead of the students. So I was always a student and a researcher at the same time. So even after I retired, I've been enjoying teaching in the metaphysical area with sound healing, tuning forks. Sacred geometry is my love, because of the design and the patterns that come out of the creation. The story of creation and mythology has always been a basic in my education.
How beautiful. That's fascinating. I just had an author write a book called Quantum Being. And she talks about a lot in her book about sacred geometry. She's actually works for NASA, and
Awesome.
she feels that science and spirituality go hand in hand. And
Absolutely.
she uses a lot of the pictures of different things where she talks about sacred geometry.
Absolutely. And I'm excited about learning more about quantum physics, and it fits right in with where our inspiration comes from immediately, and how we're entering a new age right now, and it's so exciting. So it's exciting to be alive right now, and that's what keeps me going. I don't want to leave, because I want to see what's going on in the next few years.
That is fascinating. That's awesome. That's truly beautiful. So what a celebration that you're here, you're staying active, your mind is busy with all the good things that there is to do, and you're writing a book. You're a living example for the rest of us.
Thank you. That's what I'd like to be, a legacy for my family, and they're young too, and I enjoy my watching the children. They're so different than when we were young.
Well, you know,
When I was young.
Yep, that's so true. And I think that kids are born with phones in their hands. They have these devices and they just know what to do. Yeah.
Well, yes, everything is new and everything is unknown when you're born. So they're eager to adapt and find out everything. And so being a teacher is so much fun because I love the aha moments when somebody gets it, when somebody gets the understanding of something that is foreign and unknown. It's a joy. So in my mission in teaching was to instill the love of learning into the child. So don't keep going and learn, keep being aware of newness, and there's so much out there for growth.
There is, and that's amazing. What a beautiful legacy that you're leaving, you know, for the rest of us to learn from your family, but for all of us.
When they read the story, they'll discover that everything is important. So both light and dark exist together. Janus was a god, a two-headed god. He had one face east and one face west, and they used they worshipped him above all of the other gods because he was, when the soldiers went to war, he was the god of the war, of destruction, and when the soldiers came home, he was the god of peace. So how do you fit peace and war together in one god? That was the beginning and the ending portal. He was standing in between, and he could be both, which is quantum. You know, you could be both a particle and a wave.
Wow, amazing. It really makes the mind go, whoa. Yeah.
Yes, it's something to wrap your mind around, and experiencing this for children, it's hard to understand because they come from a love of everything, and so to find that something is bad and something is good, and you're not supposed to do this, but that's okay, and the duality is a difficult concept for kids to grasp in our society.
Yes, it is.
But keeping our center is important, and believing in and trusting in the ability to change and the ability to come forward and stay and find who you are and stay in your center, and without being over judgmental, and that's fearful.
Yes, that's right. Beautiful. Well, thank you for all you do in the world, and that you're still being a big contributor, and that you're even publishing your own book. That's just pretty amazing. Just really, really be.
I'm working on another book called Self-Sovereignty, and it's going to have it's going to be a workbook which will be something like with chapters of self-mastery. So as we go through our experiences of practice in life, we can become masters of the duality, and so that's being self-sovereign and being center is the main message that I'd like to leave with people.
Beautiful.
To no matter which way you spin it, you can enjoy both sides.
That's beautiful.
Of the coin.
How beautiful. Well, thank you for this lovely interview, and thank you for being the youth that you are and contributing so much to our world.